I made quite a lot of progress this week. I don't feel like I have, but I have. I've cut the sleeve off one garment, which I'll talk about in a minute. I have made some progress on a couple other things. I have to make a decision about one of my projects, and I'm trying to decide what knitting to take on holiday with me when I go to Norway next week. We also got some more yarn arrivals and a couple of magazines. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Confessions of a Yarn Addict podcast. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website yarnaddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And please leave me a comment and let me know what you think about what I'm knitting at the moment. I have joined a yarn club this year. I've joined the Spectrum Fibre in the Tropics Yarn Club. So that was kind of the inspiration photo. It's inspired by tropical colours, and the first month, January, was this colourway. The yarn arrives at the end of each month, so that's the January colourway, and the February colourway arrived last week, and that is the February colourway, which, even though it's on a little bit on the orange side, I still really like it because it has a bit of peach in it and a bit of speckles, so I do really like that. These are DK. I went for the DK option, so it's oh, can I read that without my reading glasses on? 100% superwash merino DK. It's over 200 meters, 230 meters, I think, 115 gram skeins, so quite a lot in each skein. Now I have kind of decided I'm probably going to do a blanket with these, but I don't know what yet. Probably a crochet blanket. I need to finish the crochet blanket I currently have on my crochet hook, because I don't want to start a second big crochet project before I finish that. But I decided I would wait at least a couple of months and see what the colors work out like. It's not, I actually asked Spectrum Fibre, I messaged her before I signed up and said, would this be a fade? And she said no, but all the colors would go together. So I don't know where to start. I don't know how many skeins I'm going to need for this blanket. I have an idea, which I'm not going to share yet. And I don't know how many skeins I'm going to need. And I also don't know which order I would do them in. So I think what I'm going to do, because the next month is quite busy anyway, I'm going to leave it at least one more month and see what the colorway is like. I'm kind of tempted to leave it a bit longer to see what the colors work out like. My intention is to stay a member of this club for the whole year. Whether I will or not, I don't know. I'll see how the colorways work out. I signed up for, I think I signed up for 3 months because you got a slight discount. I think it was if you signed up for 3 months. But you can cancel each month. I don't know what happens if I cancel before the 3 months, considering I got a discount, but it's I've just paid the 3rd month, so that's not nothing to think about now. But I think after this month I can cancel if I want to, if I remember correctly, but I'm not intending to at the moment. So we'll see what else turns up next month, and then I'll make a decision at some point what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so that's all the yarn that arrived this week. So only one skein this week. I'm just looking around me to see if anything else has arrived. No, it hasn't. Did have some yarn arrive for a deadline, but I'm not going to share that. Okay, let's get on to what I've been knitting this week. So let's talk about what I did to my pink sweater. So I talked about this last week. I'm actually filming a separate video on this, but on the sleeve there was this white patch where the yarn's gone very thin. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Whether I've spilled something on it. I stripped it looks like the alpaca pink bits have been stripped away and it's just left with like the silk core. But I don't know. Anyway, I cut the sleeve off yesterday, and I will explain this more when I do my tutorial on this. But I ended up cutting off really more than I needed. So that's where the sleeve starts, and that's where I cut back to. So that's what I knitted yesterday. I have got a deadline project on the needles at the moment, which I have to finish this week because the deadline was last week. The yarn arrived a bit late, and then we had this family bereavement, which I've talked about, and another deadline for the same magazine for the same date. So the editor said that the second project I was doing could be a few days late. But I do need to get it done this week. I had hoped to finish all the knitting today. I don't think that's going to happen, but I need to finish all the knitting tomorrow because there is quite a lot of finishing on this particular project to do. And on Thursday we have my mother-in-law's funeral, so that's going to be the whole day basically gone. Well, we'll be back, I guess, middle of the afternoon, so I can knit from then on. And then Friday, my daughter's coming home tomorrow evening. I'm filming this on a Tuesday, so my daughters are coming home on Wednesday. We have the funeral on Thursday, which is when this video goes live. And then my daughters are staying home for the weekend, so Friday we're all taking the day off, and I need to really post this on Friday. So and the finishing is going to take quite a lot of time, so I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do the finishing. I might try and do some of the finishing without giving away too much. I can do some of the finishing early, so I might try and do some of the finishing this evening or tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure. I need to think about it. I need to plan ahead a bit because this is I got quite a lot to do, and I'm a bit worried about getting it all done, to be quite honest. I wanted to take this sweater to Norway with me, I think. What I'm thinking is, if I don't get this sleeve finished this week, because the sleeve doesn't take that long, I knitted another sweater of the same as this in lavender lilac, pale lilac colour, which I shared last week, I think it was. And the sleeve on that one, I made this one's got quite big, sort of almost balloon sleeves. On the other one, I made the sleeves much narrower, and I managed to easily knit one sleeve in, I was going to say one sleeve in one day, no, probably a couple of evenings, I think. I know one sleeve took me one ball, and that's all the yarn I have left of this. I hope I have enough to finish this sleeve. What I was thinking was, if I haven't finished this before I leave for Norway on Tuesday next week, I might take it with me, because I have 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think, to knit on the train to London. Now, whether I'll knit the whole way or whether I will fall asleep for a bit, I don't know, because I'm catching the train. I'm going to be at the station at 6 in the morning, so there is a chance I might have a little bit of a nap on the train rather. And then I got time to knit at the airport. If everything's on time, my train and my daughter's train, because I'm meeting her in London, then we could be at the airport for, like, well, if everything goes to plan and there isn't a queue in security, we could be through security easily by 12:30, and our plane's not till 6 in the evening. So one way or the other, I will have quite a lot of knitting time on Tuesday when I travel to Norway. So I'm thinking, if I haven't finished this, I might take it with me and finish it on my travel. I took this to Norway last time I was there over Christmas. I didn't wear it a lot. I wore it when I was traveling to Norway and when I was traveling home from Norway, in the car, at the airport, on the plane, things like that. I didn't wear it at all when I was in Norway. The only way I can see myself wearing this in Norway is if it gets really warm while we're there and my winter coat is too warm and it's dry and sunny outside. Then if we go out, I might wear this instead of a coat if it's warm enough, which I don't think it will be. And also, if we go shopping, there's a shopping centre a couple of towns away, which is quite a big shopping centre, and I do find wearing a winter coat in an indoor shopping centre too warm. So then I can see myself wearing this because it's warmer than just walking around in this, but it's not as warm as having a coat on. So I think that's the only times I'm probably likely to wear it. But I still think this will be what I'll take on holiday with me. Okay. So there will be a tutorial coming about how I fix this sleeve. Probably not, well, depending on how I do with filming it this week and when I finish this, the tutorial might be out before I go while I'm in Norway, or it might be out after I come back from Norway. I'm not sure yet. But I did film me cutting the sleeve yesterday at least. Okay, the next bit I've been working on this week. So over the weekend I taught at the Knitting Hotel in Dawlish in Devon. I teach there quite a lot. I think I counted and I did 17 workshops this year. I'm not sure how many I've got booked in this year. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I was there on Friday and Saturday. We did stranded colourwork or farewell knitting and steeking, and I have a little bit of a video clip which I'll put in here of all the people. Well, I nearly managed to catch all of them, but most of the guests in the workshop actually cutting their swatch. Some of them were cutting a colourwork swatch, some of them knitted just a stocking stitch swatch, so they could do all the steeking, cutting, finishing bits, so we had to practice. And I'll pop that video in here now. I was there for 2 days, taught all day Friday. Normally on Friday evening they go to Exeter on the train, so Dawlish is just south of Exeter on the train line. It's on the coast. If you live in the UK, you may remember that a number of years ago, must be nearly 10 years ago now, because my daughter was at university in Bristol when this happened. The train line going past Dawlish basically got washed into the sea, and they rebuilt a whole seawall to protect the train. The train there goes right by the sea. There's literally just a few meters between the train line and the sea, and it gets quite stormy down here. So if you live in the UK, you may remember that. That's Dawlish. Anyway, the train goes from there to Exeter. So on Friday evenings, Belinda, who owns the Knitting Hotel, takes those who want to go on the train to Exeter. It takes nearly half an hour, I think, into the centre of Exeter, 25 minutes, something like that. And then there's a few minutes walk to the Ivy restaurant in Exeter, and we had a meal there, and then we walked back to the train, got the train back to the Knitting Hotel. Ivy is a chain of restaurants. They're a bit more upmarket, at least for me they're a bit upmarket. They're a bit more fine dining, I guess. It's not super expensive, but it is more expensive than the kind of places I go to. I like pub meals and Nando's. That's my favourite. But it was really lovely. The decor is amazing, and especially the toilet is absolutely spectacular. So I took a little bit of a video clip from the toilet, which I will show you now. Woo. So the food was amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. I not really into fine dining, as I said, but I really, really enjoyed the food, and I would definitely go again. But when we were on the train to and from Exeter, I did bring my knitting, and because I thought 25-30 minutes each way, quite a bit of knitting I can get done. So I brought Simon's sock. Now I can't remember where I was last time, whether I started the heel or not, I can't remember. But I think when I got on the train, I had just finished the heel, and I think I did most of that on the train going to and from Exeter. I think that's right. but I didn't put a marker in. So they look really long, but I did get some to try them on because they do look very long, and his feet aren't that big, but I did get him to try them on. So because I have a little bit less yarn than normal, I bought this yarn when I was in Norway last time, and it is Cardigan warm sock yarn. It's a DK sock yarn. I'm knitting it on 3.5mm needles, so I get a bit denser fabric. And it was 100 grams. Now, a lot of DK sock yarns come in 150 gram balls, but this one didn't. This was just 100 grams. So I split it in 2 balls, so that's how it started off, and that's the size now. So I've used up quite a bit. I like to do such with self-striping yarn. I like to do afterthought heel, so I knit to where I get to the heel, and then I just knit in a waist yarn, and then finish the sock, and then I go back and take off out the waist yarn and knit the heel later. But because I'm worried about running out of yarn, I decided to do something called a shadow wrap heel, which I haven't done before. I have done the fish lips kiss heel once. So if you haven't heard, the fish lips kiss heel is a heel pattern. It's just the heel, and it's also several pages. It's quite a long pattern considering the fact it's just the heel. There's loads of stuff about how to get the correct size and all that, working out the length you want your sock and all that kind of stuff. And I bought it years ago. It's available on Ravelry. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. But I bought the pattern years ago, and then every time I looked at it, try it, it was just too much text, and I just kind of switched off and did my normal heel. And then Christmas 2 years ago, when we were in Norway, I tried it for the first time, and because I remember we were on this boat trip on the Oslo fjord when I was knitting this heel, and I think I unpicked the first time because I wasn't happy. Did it again, and I just wasn't happy with it. It's a similar heel to shadow wrap heel, but I don't think it's identical, although because I haven't done it for 2 years I can't actually remember. So I thought I'd try shadow wrap heel. I think I did something wrong when I started the first side, because I've ended up with this like green loop there, and it's a little bit loose there, so I'm not 100% happy with that. With the fish lips kiss heel, I got one side which looked okay, and then the other side looked a bit loose. So can you see how this side does not look as good as this side? I don't know whether that's visible or not, but I thought if this side looks a bit loose, I can always just sew it up a bit on the back and tighten it up. I got Sam to try this on when I finished the heel, and he seemed happy with it. I don't think he'll notice that they're a bit scruffy, so I just kept going. I'd like to finish this before I go to Norway, because I don't want to take these to Norway with me. But I have this deadline that I've already mentioned. I've got to finish the sleeve on that pink sweater, and I got a couple other things I want to finish as well. So I don't know if these socks are going to get done before I go to Norway. I think they will probably be put on hold if we go out and about a bit over the weekend. Well, so we got the funeral on Thursday, day off on Friday, I'm teaching on Saturday, and then day off on Sunday, and I got to pack on Sunday, and then work on Monday, and then Norway on Tuesday. So if we go out and about over the weekend and I have a bit of time to knit, I might bring this and knit on it because it's a small project. But if we don't, then I definitely won't get those socks finished. I was actually thinking about taking this yarn from Pixie Yarn with me to cast and prepare socks when we go to Norway, but I haven't decided yet what I'm going to take to Norway with me. I was going to talk about it in this podcast, but because I have plenty of other things to mention, I'm going to leave it till next week's podcast. I'm hoping, my plan is to record a podcast on Monday morning, edit it Monday afternoon, so it's ready for next Thursday, next week, so that there will be a podcast next week. The following week, there probably won't be a podcast because I will have been in Norway for 10 days, so I won't record a podcast while I'm in Norway. There will be some sort of other video, but I don't know what yet. Okay, so what else have I been knitting? Oh, I was looking around thinking there aren't any other projects here, but it was on the floor. So my Ho He & Co bag, which I did a review on last week, I think. So let's have a look at this yarn, or this project rather. I thought I'm knitting this top down, and I thought the night before, I picked this up last night. I thought just do a few rows of it on it before I go to bed. Then I realised I got to where I needed to stop and check the fit the night before. So I really wanted to finish this before I go to Norway. I don't think it's going to happen. Right, which is the right way and which is the wrong way, because this garter stitch is not that easy to see. That's the right way. So this is work from the top down, and it's going to be a cardigan. And I have very limited amounts of yarn, so I clipped it together at the underarms. Hang on, can you see that? I've used these clips, hang on, these white clips, grey clips from Coconuts. So I did come in here last night before I went to bed to try it on. So let me try it on again. So I was thinking from my measurements that this would be long enough for the underarms, but I don't think it is. Oh, maybe it is. I think it's kind of borderline whether it's long enough for the underarms or not. So originally what I had planned to do was to make this, because it goes like nearly elbow to elbow, just above the elbow to just above the elbow. And originally I wanted it a bit oversized. So I planned to have it, the width to be elbow to elbow. I've got one hand off the screen here. I planned for the width to be elbow to elbow and then go straight down. But because I am worried about whether I got enough yarn or not, I've decided not to do that. So what I'm going to do is cast off a few stitches here and then go down. So it's sort of like dolman sleeves. So if I was just going straight down for here, for kind of very oversized boxy look, then that would definitely be fine. But as I'm not going straight down from there, I'm going in a bit and then down. So it would go down from like here, I think. I am worried that I don't have enough. Hang on, let me try and stand up a bit. There isn't a lot of space in this room, so if I stand up, so size wise it's fine because I'll also knit on a button band. Maybe it is okay. Last night I was thinking it wasn't. I might try and split it here. Just trying to see where the shoulders is. That's the shoulder, okay. Because I cast on for the back and then I picked up stitches for the front, it's not that easy to see where the shoulder is. That's where the shaping for the V-neck is. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe I could do a few more rows before I join it all up. I don't think I'll work on this at all today. I've been trying to work on it a little bit before I go to bed. I don't think I'll work on this at all today. I need to really finish this deadline sample I've got on the needles first. I think this will probably be on hold till I finish the deadline sample. Now the question is, do I take this to Norway with me? It's not very big. And the yarn, leftover yarn for it isn't that big. So I don't know whether to take that to Norway with me or not. It would be a good idea to finish it. I had actually planned to take my advent calendar from Truly Hooked to Norway with me, which all in all is 480 grams because it's 24 gram skeins. But I wouldn't take all of them because I wouldn't get all of that done while I'm in Norway. So I'm thinking I should probably finish this before I start something else. So I used one purple skein and a mini skein for the top bit. And then for this bit, I have been striping. Don't know how you can easily see it. First, I was striping this one with the purple from the top. And then I was striping this with... I've still got the leftover? Yes. With that. So that's all I've got left. So I have nearly 80 grams left of that, 79 grams something. So of the first mini skein set I had, which had 5 mini skeins, 20 grams each, which was the, I think the summer solstice set from Pixie Yarn. I have that one left. There was one that was a little bit more kind of orangey, I think, than this one, which I used for my swatch, and I have no idea what's happened to my swatch. I hang them up on the notice board on my wall there, which is where I'm looking, but it's not there. So that's the one I got left. I don't know if that one really goes with that one, so I might not use that one. The last one I used was that colour. Then it goes to that colour, which I'm not that keen on. So I also have this, which is the Yule Solstice set. There was a Winter Equinox or something set as well, which I didn't get, and I kind of regret that now, because I can't remember what the colours were like, but I think they would have gone with what I've got. So do I stripe that with this? I think that would look okay. And then I've also got these two sets, which are the same. They're both the Spring Equinox set from last year from Pixie Knits. That one is solids. I wish that one was speckled now, because I think that would be better. That's the same yarn as what I'm knitting with. That's speckled, but it's also got sparkle in it. Can you see that it's got sparkle in it? So I don't know whether to use this and with the sparkles, or whether to use that one, even though it's solid. I'm only doing 2 rows in garter stitch, so I don't think the fact that it's solid, not speckled, will show that much. So the Knitter issue 199 is in the shops in the UK at the moment. I shared that magazine last week or the week before. I have a video coming out on that sample, which that video will be out this afternoon, so the day I'm filming this. So it will be out on Tuesday of this week. So I will link that below. Knitting magazine has arrived. Knitting magazine issue, what is it? Issue 250, I think it is. I got contact lenses on, so I can't read because I've got my reading glasses here. So that's Knitting Magazine issue 250. That will be out on the day this video goes live. It is, the theme is coffee break, 20 relaxing knits. They're all kind of coffee themed, coffee color wise. Quite a lot of stuff in this magazine. If the sample comes back this week, I might try and film a quick video reviewing the sample and the magazine, but it depends on whether the sample comes back this week or not. Magazine arrived a few days ago, last week I think, and the sample hasn't come back yet. So if it comes back before I go to Norway and I have time, I might film a quick video, but I may not. We'll see how we do time wise. So that is my design. It's a cardigan knitted in Macintosh Donegal Rich Tweed DK. I do like Macintosh yarns. They are really, really lovely. And I have an affiliate code with, or affiliate link with Macintosh. So if you do fancy getting the Donegal Rich Tweed DK, which I've used for a brioche design, which was also in the Knitting Magazine, I think, last year sometime. That's also knitted in the same yarn. It's so soft and lovely. I'm working on this pattern at the moment. I think the pattern is ready to be published, but I need to get some new photos because I can't use the photos that were in the magazine. So that will be out soon. So if you fancy getting some Macintosh yarn, I have an affiliate link. With an affiliate link, you don't pay any more, but I get a tiny percentage, which will help me support this channel. So I'll put that link below. So really good issue. I haven't really had a chance to look at it properly yet. There's a feature on the Wool Kitchen. I used her yarn, I think it was in the last issue of the magazine, of Knitting Magazine. There is a, oh, I forgot about this. So there is a feature called A Knit is for Life. They've asked various designers and contributors about but our oldest hand knit, basically. So it was Brona and Miss Kelly. She asked this selection of designers and writers and contributors to Knitting Magazine about their oldest knit. Now I can't remember my first knit. I know I knitted a sweater when my daughter was a baby, because I have a picture of me holding my daughter in our old house, which we moved from before my youngest daughter was born. So it was my oldest daughter. But I don't know what happened to that sweater. I assume I put on weight and then gave it away to a charity shop or something. But the oldest sweater I have, which I bring out every time I do a steeking or feral course, is this sweater, which is a sweater for a toddler that my mum knitted for my oldest daughter when she was born. My mum doesn't remember knitting it when I showed it to her. I have no idea what the pattern is. It's really nice. It's knitted in Norwegian wool, which is quite itchy and hard, and it's quite warm, and it doesn't get that cold in Cornwall most of the time, and it was also a bit itchy, so I don't think my daughter ever wore it, maybe once or twice, but the sample is in perfect condition and it's perfect for me to carry around with me when I do my steeking workshop, because it is a steeked sample. So that was my contribution, because I can't remember. I don't think I've got anything that I've knitted from before I gave up knitting when my daughter was little. I stopped knitting for a few years when my kids were little, and then I got back into it again. And even then, a lot of the earlier stuff I knitted, I have either sold or given away, or it's gotten lost or whatever, because I just have so many samples. So although we're talking about a knit is for life, apparently not in my world. And then there is a feature on a different way of knitting. As awareness grows of the many different ways our brains work, we explore how knitting helps people with neurodivergence. So neurodivergence, from what I understand, is people with ADHD, autism, dyslexia. We have somebody with ADHD in our family, and we have 2 dyslexics. So I'm looking forward to reading that article, and then some more features, news pages, things like that. So if the sample comes back this week and I have time, I will try and do a separate video on it, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. By the time I come back from Norway, it'll probably be close to the next issue being out. And then this has been out, I think, for a couple of weeks, but I'm not sure, but I picked this up in the newsagent yesterday because I hadn't received my contributor copy. So let me just rip the paper off. A lot of magazines used to come in like a plastic cover. They're now, at least in Simply Knitting, come with paper, so that's good rather than plastic. Okay, so it has a spiral cable needle as the free gift. I was thinking you could probably use that as a shawl pin, actually. And then my sample is in a separate, that's the magazine. It's issue, what issue is it? 248 of Simply Knitting, and it includes this little cable collection, which is my sample. So that is my sample. I recorded a video on this sample before I sent it off to the magazine, so I will probably release that not Tuesday, maybe the following week. It will probably be the week, not next week, the week after. So that is what it looks like modeled on the model. So it's a cable sweaters knitted all in one piece from the bottom up, and then you pick up stitches around the sleeves and knit them from the top down. It's knitted in Skeppies Merino Soft DK, which is a lovely yarn to knit with, and I really like the sample. I like the colour. I have done a video on this, so I will probably just add a little bit to it from that to show the model sample, and that will be out probably not next week, probably the week after, but we'll see. Okay, so lots in today's video. I feel like I've been a little bit chaotic today, but it's because my brain is a bit chaotic at the moment because I got so much on. It's now late for my lunch, so I'm going to go and have my lunch and do some more knitting on my deadline sample, and then come back up and edit this video. Oh, one thing I was going to show you, which I haven't. Actually, no, I'll leave that next week. I'll leave it next. No, let me show it now. So I was looking for, I don't know, I was clearing up some samples the other day because I had a pile of samples over in that end of the room which I had to go through, and I was trying to clear them up the other day because I had problems with my printer, and I had to move my printer out so I could fix it because I was on the shelf over that end as well, which I'm not going to show you because it's a mess. And I found this sample which I knitted, I looked it up on Ravelry earlier, I think 2014 or something, so quite a few years ago. My daughter modelled it for me, and she still had braces, and she's now 20, nearly 26, 25, nearly 26. And I'm wondering whether I should re-knit this. So that's what it looks like. I really like it. It's really a pretty lace pattern. It's called the Portobello Cow, and I'm thinking about re-knitting it. I would probably want it a little bit bigger, and I'm thinking maybe make it a little bit wider at the bottom and a bit narrower at the, well, this size at the top and a bit wider at the bottom. But I really like that lace pattern. And I have these two pink skeins, which I wasn't sure what to do with. So this is knitted in Lotus Cashmere DK, which is actually a 4-ply yarn rather than a DK, in my opinion. But I have these two DK skeins, which I shared last week, week before. Spectrum Fibre, that colour, which I love, and then this colour from the Discreet Unicorn. So I was thinking, that one's got sparkly bits in it as well. So I was thinking, what if I knitted this in one of these? That would make a really good travel project for going to Norway, for like knitting on the travel day. If I don't have to finish that pink sleeve, which I probably will do. But then I'm also thinking, I have several pink cows, so do I need another pink cow? Maybe I should knit it in one of the Manos Uruguay Silk Blend skeins, so I have a sample for my stall when I display at shows. I don't know. So anyway, I've left this on my desk. I will link the pattern below. I am in the process at the moment of increasing the prices of most of my patterns. So all my patterns on PayHip will be £5. On Ravelry, some of my patterns are still £3.50, some are £4, some are £4.50. I'm going to bring most of them up to £5, apart from some of my very older patterns that really need updating. I might leave them there by £4, or I might disable them. It depends on how old they are. I really like to have the same patterns available on PayHip and Ravelry, but some of my older patterns I've not uploaded on PayHip because I feel like the pattern needs updating, and trying to find time to do that is really, really difficult. And some of them, like this one, because my daughter modelled it, she was probably like 16, 17 when she did it. She looks really, really young. I would be happy to model that myself now, but I would need new photos and make some changes to the pattern to bring it up to date to my current standards, and that just takes a lot of time, which I don't have. So if I reknit that pattern, I will update the pattern, and the price will go up, but I am gradually increasing all my prices to £5 because everything's gone up in the last couple of years. I know it's hard for all of us, but it's hard for designers as well, and the amount of time and effort I put into my patterns, they're professionally tech edited, I feel like I need to increase my pattern price to £5. So I've increased some already, but there are some I haven't increased yet, and I will be doing it. My goal is to try and get them all in. My goal is to try and get all the ones that I will take to Wonderwool with me at the end of April updated before Wonderwool, so I can sell them for £5 at Wonderwool, because I don't want to sell them for £5 at Wonderwool if some of them are £4.50 or £4 on Ravelry. So if there have been patterns that you've had your eyes on, do go and check out, especially some of my older patterns. I'll link my Ravelry and PayHip pattern shops down below, so you can check that out if you're interested. Right, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go and have some lunch and finish this video. It's getting quite long. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.